Let me tell you something most guys overlook, but every man needs to understand. When a woman opens up about her problems, it's not random. It's intentional. She could have gone to her girlfriends, her mum, or kept it bottled up inside. But instead, she chose you. That alone should tell you something powerful. You're important enough for her to let down her guard. Now, here's the catch. Too many men ruin this moment. Some rush to give solutions, like they're fixing a broken car engine. Others brush it off because they don't want to deal with emotions. And then there are the ones who take it lightly and miss the opportunity to build a stronger bond. Don't make that mistake. A woman isn't always looking for you to solve her problems. Sometimes she just wants to feel safe, heard, and connected with you. This is where men separate themselves. If you know how to handle these moments, she will see you as a man she can trust, respect, and admire. If you don't, she will quietly distance herself. In this video, I'll break down exactly what you need to do when a woman shares her problems with you, and how mastering this one skill will change everything. Listen without interrupting one. Listen without interrupting. The first thing you need to understand is that when a woman tells you her problems, she is giving you access to her inner world. That's not something women hand out casually. It means she's testing if you can handle it, and whether you're the kind of man who can be a safe space for her emotions. The worst thing you can do here is interrupt. The moment you cut her off, she feels like her voice doesn't matter to you. Think about it. When you're sharing something important and someone jumps in before you're done, what happens? You feel dismissed. The same thing applies here, only 10 times deeper, because women attach strong emotions to their words. If you want her to trust you, let her finish her thoughts. Listening without interrupting doesn't mean just staying quiet and waiting for your turn to speak. It means being fully present. Put down your phone, look her in the eye, and actually take in what she's saying. Your body language speaks louder than your words. Lean slightly toward her, nod, and give small acknowledgements like, "I hear you," or "I get it." These signals show her you're paying attention, and that matters more than you think. Now, here's where most men fail. They assume she wants a quick fix. She says she's stressed about work, and you immediately jump in with, "Well, just quit then." Wrong move. That tells her you didn't really listen. She doesn't want you to bulldo her feelings with solutions. She wants you to sit in that moment with her. Let her release what she's holding in. By listening, you're giving her room to breathe. Another mistake men make is turning the conversation back to themselves. She's talking about how her friend betrayed her, and suddenly you're saying, "Yeah, I had the same thing happen last year." Stop right there. This is not about you. In that moment, she wants to know that you're listening to her experience, not waiting for a chance to insert your own. If you do this, she will feel like she wasted her time being vulnerable with you. Stoicism teaches composure. That's exactly what you need when she's pouring her emotions out. Don't roll your eyes. Don't act annoyed. Don't look like you're waiting for her to hurry up. Your calm presence is what stabilizes her. Women respect men who can handle emotional storms without being shaken. That's when she knows you're different from the average guy. When you listen fully, something shifts in her. She starts to associate you with comfort. She feels lighter around you. She trusts you more. And when a woman trusts you with her emotions, she will trust you with other parts of her life. So here's your takeaway. Next time she brings you a problem, resist the urge to interrupt, solve, or redirect. Just sit back, be still, and let her flow. Listening without interruption is not passive. It's active power. It tells her you are a man who can stand firm while she lets go. And that is exactly the kind of man she never forgets. Don't rush to fix. Don't rush to fix. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman shares her problems is jumping straight into solution mode. You hear her stress about a coworker, and instantly you're telling her what she should do. She tells you she feels overwhelmed, and you start laying out a plan like you're her manager. Stop. This is where men lose points without realizing it. When she comes to you with her struggles, she doesn't just want a mechanic to repair the issue. She wants a man who can hold space for her emotions. She's not always asking you to fix it. She's asking you to stand with her in it. That's a huge difference. When you rush to fix, what she hears is, "You're not handling this right. Let me take over." That makes her feel small, like her feelings are just an inconvenience you want to sweep away. What works better is restraint. When she shares her problem, take a breath before saying anything. Listen, validate, and then, if you're unsure, ask her directly, "Do you want me to just listen, or would you like my thoughts on how to handle it?" That one question alone will change how she sees you. It shows respect, it shows patience, and it shows you know the difference between being supportive and being controlling. Most of the time, she'll say she just wants you to listen. And in those moments, your silence and calm presence are more powerful than any advice. Think about it. Women already know most of the solutions to their own problems. They're not clueless. They just need to process their emotions out loud with someone they trust. If you can be that steady wall she leans on while she figures it out, she will admire you more than if you tried to jump in and save her. Stoicism is all about self-control. And here's where it applies. A Stoic man doesn't let his ego push him into fixing things just to feel useful. He knows when to act and when to hold back. That restraint is strength. Women notice that. They notice when you can stay calm without trying to dominate the moment. By not rushing to fix everything, you actually give her the space to reconnect with her own strength. She starts to feel empowered because you allowed her to unload, regroup, and find clarity without judgment. In her eyes, you become not just her partner or her man, but her anchor. And that's how a deep bond is built. The takeaway here is simple. Stop thinking every problem she shares with you is a test of your problem-solving skills. Sometimes it's a test of your patience. Sometimes it's a test of your ability to simply be still. If you can resist the urge to fix, and instead offer presence and understanding, you'll stand out from every man who couldn't hold that line. That's when she knows she's with a man who doesn't just want to solve her problems. He knows how to handle her heart. Stay calm. Under emotion 4, stay calm under emotion. When a woman shares her problems, emotions often come pouring out with them. She might cry, raise her voice, or even go silent while holding back tears. Most men panic in these moments because they don't know what to do. They either shut down, lash out, or retreat into silence to protect themselves. But here's where your strength as a man is measured. You must stay calm. If she's upset and you get upset too, the situation spirals. If she's angry and you take it personally, you'll end up in an unnecessary fight. But if you can hold steady while her emotions surge, you prove you're not easily shaken. That calm presence speaks volumes. It tells her, "I can handle you at your highs and your lows." That's rare, and that's what builds trust. Think about it. Most men are either too reactive or too distant. They snap back when a woman is emotional, or they walk away to avoid dealing with it. Both of those reactions make her feel abandoned. But if you remain composed, you become the anchor in the storm. She will associate you with safety because you don't match her chaos with chaos. You match it with steadiness. Staying calm doesn't mean being cold or shutting off your feelings. It means controlling your energy. Keep your tone low and steady. Keep your body relaxed. Don't roll your eyes. Don't sigh. Don't act annoyed. These small gestures of irritation will cut her deeply because she will feel like her emotions are a burden to you. Instead, let her see that you're not running from her emotions. You're standing firm. That is masculine strength at its core. Another part of staying calm is not taking everything she says personally in the heat of the moment. Sometimes, when emotions are high, words fly that aren't meant to wound, but to release. If you react defensively to every sharp word, you'll escalate things. But if you stay steady and let her express herself, she will calm down faster and later respect you for not overreacting. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control what others do or say, but we can always control our response. That's the mindset you need here. You don't need to mirror her energy. You need to regulate yours. That's what makes you stand out as a man who can be relied on, no matter how rough things get. Women, don't forget men who can stay calm when they're falling apart. They will test to see if you break under emotional pressure. But if you pass that test, their respect for you grows. The next time she comes to you with tears or frustration, remember this. Your calm presence is more powerful than any words you can say. Be steady, be unshaken, and she will feel secure, knowing you're a man she can lean on no matter what storm she's facing. That's how you turn a moment of chaos into a moment of connection. Be her safe space 5. Be her safe space. Every man says he wants a woman to trust him, but very few understand what it takes to earn that trust. Trust isn't built on gifts, compliments, or smooth talk. It's built on being her safe space. When she tells you her problems, she's actually testing this. She wants to know if she can bring her raw, unfiltered self to you without fear of judgment or rejection. If you pass that test, she bonds with you deeply. If you fail, she will retreat and keep her true self hidden. Being her safe space means creating an environment where she feels free to express herself. That doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says, but it does mean making her feel respected no matter what. If she comes to you stressed about something that seems small to you, don't laugh it off. Don't tell her she's overreacting, even if you don't fully understand. Acknowledge it. Show her you care enough to listen without belittling her. This tells her that you value her feelings as much as your own. A woman's deepest fear when opening up is being dismissed. If she feels dismissed by you, she won't just stop telling you her problems. She'll stop trusting you altogether. That's how relationships die slowly. On the other hand, if you consistently make her feel safe, she will run to you instead of away from you when life gets heavy. She will see you as her sanctuary, her place of peace, her man who can handle her in every state. That bond is priceless. Another key part of being her safe space is confidentiality. If she shares something personal with you and later finds out you repeated it to your friends or family, the damage is permanent. She'll never look at you the same way again. What she shares with you is between the two of you. Protect her trust like it's treasure, because once it's gone, you can't get it back. Being her safe space also requires patience. Sometimes she won't make sense when she talks. Sometimes she'll circle around the same point over and over. Don't roll your eyes or cut her off. Let her process in her own way. Your job is not to speed her up, but to sit with her until she feels lighter. That patience communicates volumes. It says, "I'm here no matter how long it takes." That is rare in a world where most men just want quick, easy interactions. A Stoic man understands the power of stillness. He knows that sometimes silence, presence, and patience are worth more than any advice. That's the kind of strength women crave but rarely find. So, the next time she shares her problems with you, remind yourself this is not just a conversation. This is an opportunity to prove that you're the man she can trust above all others. If you show her that she is safe with you, safe to cry, safe to vent, safe to be unfiltered, you'll never have to question her loyalty. Because once a woman feels safe with a man, she gives him a side of herself that no one else will ever see. Respond with strength 6. Respond with strength. When a woman brings you her problems, she doesn't want weakness in return. She wants to know she's with a man who can absorb her storm and still stand strong. Responding with strength doesn't mean being cold or robotic. It means showing steady composure and clarity in the middle of her emotions. This is where many men fail. They either crumble under pressure, get defensive, or retreat into silence because they don't know what to say. But strength is not about always having the perfect words. It's about energy. When she's emotional, don't match her chaos with chaos. If she's frustrated, don't get frustrated back. If she's crying, don't start panicking. Instead, hold your ground, speak slowly, keep your tone steady, and let her feel that no matter how heavy her emotions get, you're not going anywhere. That presence alone communicates strength. Women naturally test men, not always on purpose, but to see if they can trust them to be steady. If every time she's upset, you break down, lash out, or walk away, she'll stop depending on you. She'll see you as fragile, not strong. But when you respond with calm strength, she'll respect you more because you've proven that her emotions can't shake you. Responding with strength also means being decisive when the time calls for it. Sometimes, after she's poured everything out, she'll look to you for guidance. If she asks, don't hesitate or stumble. Offer your thoughts clearly and confidently, not in a way that dominates her, but in a way that shows you know how to lead. Women admire men who can listen first and then speak with authority, not men who are timid or unsure of themselves. Another layer of strength is self-control. Don't let her words trigger your ego. If she's venting and says something harsh in the heat of the moment, don't snap back. Don't get baited into an argument you'll regret later. A Stoic man doesn't let his emotions be dictated by someone else's outburst. He knows how to stay rooted no matter what's thrown at him. That's the kind of control women deeply respect. But strength is not about being unfilling. If she's hurting, you can acknowledge it. If she's crying, you can comfort her. What makes its strength is that you don't get lost in the emotion yourself. You remain grounded, and by staying grounded, you actually help bring her back down too. Think of yourself as the solid ground she can stand on when her world feels shaky. This is what separates boys from men. Anyone can react, anyone can panic. But a man who responds with strength earns a permanent place in her heart. Because women remember the man who didn't flinch when everything felt overwhelming. They remember the man who stayed calm when they were at their worst. They remember the man who didn't just listen, but did it with the kind of presence that made them feel protected. So when she comes to you with her problems, don't see it as a burden, see it as your chance to rise. Respond with strength, and she will never forget who you are. Build deeper connection. 7. Build deeper connection. When a woman shares her problems with you, it's never just about the problem itself. It's about connection. She's giving you a chance to step into her world and see what she really feels. If you handle that moment with care, you don't just comfort her, you strengthen the bond between you. That's why this is the final and most important step. Use these conversations to build deeper connection. Most men see these moments as a burden. They roll their eyes, they act distracted, or they look for the quickest way to end the conversation. But the smart man, the Stoic man, sees it differently. He knows every time she opens up, it's an opportunity to get closer. Women feel connected through emotional intimacy, not just physical closeness. If she shares her struggles and you make her feel understood, she'll link that sense of relief and comfort to you. Over time, that creates loyalty that no other man can break. Building connection means going beyond just listening. It means remembering the details she shares. If she told you she was worried about a meeting at work, check in later and ask, "How did that meeting go?" That small act shows you weren't just nodding along. You cared enough to store it in your mind. To her, that's huge. It also means following up with supportive action when needed. If she tells you she's stressed from work, maybe you suggest taking her out for a quiet dinner to relax. If she's overwhelmed with chores, you step in and handle one without being asked. These gestures prove that you don't just listen, you respond in ways that ease her load. That's how emotional connection turns into trust and respect. Another way to build connection is by sharing a little of yourself after she's done. Not in a way that hijacks the conversation, but in a way that shows vulnerability too. For example, if she's talking about feeling uncertain at work, you can briefly share a time when you dealt with pressure and how you managed it. This creates a bond because it shows her you're not just listening. You understand from experience. It builds a bridge between her world and yours. Connection also deepens when you create consistency. If you're calm, attentive, and supportive one day, but dismissive the next, she'll feel unstable with you. But if every time she brings her heart to you, you meet it with patience and presence, she will open up more and more. That consistency is what makes her feel safe to be her true self around you. A Stoic man knows that connection isn't about grand speeches or constant reassurances. It's about steady actions over time. It's about showing her through the way you handle her problems that she's not alone. She learns that when the world feels heavy, she can lean on you and not worry about being judged or ignored. That's real intimacy. In the end, when a woman tells you her problems, she's handing you an opportunity to either push her away or draw her closer. If you choose connection, you become more than just her partner. You become her confidant, her anchor, and her trusted man. And once that bond is built, it's nearly impossible to break. Conclusion. Men, understand this clearly. When a woman tells you her problems, she is not just talking. She is inviting you into her inner world. Every story she shares, every emotion she reveals is her way of asking, "Can I trust you with this part of me?" How you respond in those moments determines the depth of your bond. If you brush her off, interrupt, or rush to fix things, you send the message that her feelings don't matter. But if you listen with patience, validate her emotions, stay calm under pressure, and respond with strength, you separate yourself from the average man. You show her you are the one she can lean on when life gets heavy. This is what women crave, not a man who knows everything,